Hi everyone and welcome back. My name is Doris. You're watching My Savage Homestead. Well, today I am going to make a dessert, a Patachou dough dessert, which is Eclairs. And not only Eclairs, Black Forest Eclairs. So we're making Black Forest Eclairs today. My husband made the decision he has a hankering for Eclairs instead of creme brulee, so we're going to do Eclairs today. So I'm going to show you how to make the Patachou dough, teach you how to do that. And no, not shoe like your foot shoe. It's C-H-O-U-X. Patachou actually is what it's called, but a lot of people call it shoe dough. And you see that like on cream pastries, cream puffs, stuff like that, eclairs. It's the same dough. So, but one's long and one's round. It's very simple, very easy to do. You just need to follow the steps correctly to make your dough rise in the oven. But after that, it should be smooth sailing. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you what you're going to need for your Black Forest Eclairs today. Okay, this is for the Patachou dough. You're going to need 1 cup of water. You're going to need 1 cup of white flour. You're going to need 4 room temperature eggs. And you're going to need a cup of butter, which is a stick of butter. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's make this easy dough real quick. Okay, first things first. We're going to put it on medium. All you're doing is warming up the water and melting the butter in the water, so you don't need it on high. So we're going to add our 1 cup of water. We're going to add our stick of butter. We're going to melt this in the water. So let's get that going and we'll be right back. Okay, your butter and water are now blended together, melted, and you're going to stir in the flour. And you're going to reduce it down to medium to low. It's looking pretty good. Cook that for 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, let's take it off the stove. Okay, now you're going to need to use a wooden spoon. My mother-in-law told me when making eclairs, always use a wooden spoon with the dough. If not, you're going to have flat eclairs. I'm taking her word at it. I've never used anything else but a wooden spoon. So we're going to slowly start whisking the eggs in. I don't like to use hand beaters on this because there's a fine line on overworking your dough with a beater. Almost lost my eggs. Usually I have my husband standing here dropping the eggs in while I'm beating the dough, but he's not here right now, so he'll be surprised when he comes home because he's going to get the eclairs he wanted today. So that's 2. You want to beat it fast. If you do it really slow, you're going to get scrambled eggs in there. And you don't want that. Last one. Beat that up. And that's the consistency that you want. That looks really good. That's what you want to see. You don't want it too dry, and you don't want it too wet. You want to see it with a little gloss on it. Perfect. Now, to squeeze your dough out onto the parchment paper, you don't need a fancy pastry bag or tip. Just use a Ziploc bag, a gallon Ziploc bag. That's all you need. I'm going to show you how to do it. You're just going to put the corner down in the bag and place it over the measuring cup. And then you're going to take your Patachou dough and you're going to put it inside the bag. You're just going to pull it up and you're going to twist it. That's all you need right there. You're going to need a cup or a little ramekin of water. You'll see in a minute why. Okay, so I'm just going to snip the bottom off of it. And I'm just going to push it out onto the paper. Then your water is just to pat down if you've got any high spots. I have a problem with my parchment paper not staying. And that's what you do. Okay, now it goes in the oven in the middle rack. And then on the bottom here, if you can see, I have a bowl of water that helps steam in there to help rise the Patachou dough. Now let's get it going for 15 minutes and then we'll come back. Okay, 15 to 20 minutes, it was the halfway mark. They're rising up pretty good. They should be baking for 35 to 40 minutes. So I'm going to give it, they're starting to get brown, so I'm going to give it another 5 to 10 minutes. And there they are, they're out of the oven. Just perfect. They poofed up. It took 35 minutes to bake today. Sometimes it takes 40 minutes, just depends on your barometric pressure for the day. But we're pretty hot outside, so it didn't take very long to cook. But we're going to let these cool, and then we're going to put it together. We're going to make this simple today. We're just going to use a box of instant chocolate pudding. So go ahead and blend that together and put that in the fridge. You're going to need vanilla, butter, powdered sugar, and powdered cocoa. Okay, you can go ahead and blend up your butter in a bowl. And you're going to add your 1 cup of your powdered sugar. I'm sure making a mess. And then I'm going to do 1.5 tablespoons of powdered cocoa. Now you can omit the chocolate in this recipe if you want to. If you just want to make a vanilla icing on top of your eclairs, that's fine. Sometimes I do a chocolate mirror glaze on top of my eclairs, but for some reason today they just wouldn't take. I couldn't get the consistency that I needed, so I just reverted back to a frosting. Okay, I'm going to use a can of cherries here, but you can omit this if you want. And we're going to go ahead and start the assembly process now that the eclairs are cool. Now you can make a slit, a pocket if you want to. For me right now doing the cherries, I'm just going to slice them in half and then stack them. And as you can see, the bowl in the bottom right, that was my glaze. And my glaze did not work out today, so I ended up scratching that and then going to icing. So in your assembly, after you cut your dough, you're just going to put your pudding or custard on the bottom. Now you can change that up and do a vanilla custard, a banana custard at Thanksgiving. I do a pumpkin pie eclair, and at Christmas time I do a peppermint eclair. So I'm just going to do a thin layer of cherries on here, but again, if you don't want cherries, you can omit that. And then if you want to put strawberries in there, put strawberries in there. Make it your own. Eclairs are so versatile, you can do whatever you want with an eclair. And then I'm going to go ahead and top it off with my chocolate frosting. My husband likes his without anything on top. He likes the plain vanilla, and he likes the Black Forest. So I'm going to give him Black Forest today, but I'm going to leave some of them without frosting for him. And there you have it, your Black Forest eclairs.